Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Semaru Shoka Jigoku Dan Warera no Kuro Ikage Sekai no Heiwa Go Let's go Kagayaku Machine. Oh, hey guys, welcome to the Rider Time podcast and the Morphin Network. It's Morphin Time all the time. I'm your host, my TimeRider Zero, and with me is my long lost partner in crime, Leo PsychoFox. How are you doing, my man?
I am good. I am good. I'm glad to be back. For those of y'all who don't know, I've taken on the producer role. I've been editing a lot of this stuff. The Ranger babies over there, I will bring them over here in like the next 10 minutes or so. So other than that, it's been good. Ranger baby's now 13 months old.
He's so happy.
And he's rocking and rolling. That is Mrs. PsychoFox in the background.
Yep.
This is Mrs. Fox over here. I forgot she. Without context, there's a reason. Yeah, there you go, bam. But no, it is great. And honestly, I'm glad that I saw this movie. This movie rocked.
Right. Yeah. So for those of you who are unawares, we are doing something a little bit different. We're not reviewing an episode of Kamen Rider Geeks like you'd expect. We are instead doing a movie review, something we haven't done since that time we were doing Real Time and Kamen Rider Saber.
Thanks, Toei, for copyrighting us, by the way.
No, we love you, Toei, but give us a little leniency. We're a critique thing. We're doing it for educational entertainment purposes.
I don't know what they're gonna do if we ever do Shin Godzilla and we show a clip. Toei.
So what is it that we're doing? We are reviewing the 2023 film Shin Kamen Rider, and we're not talking about Shin Kamen Rider Prologue from 1992. No, we're talking about the new Shin Kamen Rider. We should call it Shin Kamen Rider so that people
Double
know
shins.
we're not talking about the old Shin Kamen Rider. This is the Shin Kamen Rider. Yes, the word Shin means new. It also means God if you put it at the end of the word, like Shin Dan Kuroto and Dan Kuroto Shin. But the point is,
Shin Akuma.
Yeah, the point is, like, we should call this Shin Kamen Rider as in the new Masked Rider.
Mike, don't complicate things. Just call it Double Shin Kamen Rider. That's all. That's all you need to do. Just double shins. Double shin kicks everywhere.
All right. Well, we hope that all of you are having an amazing Saturday afternoon or night or morning, depending on where you are watching from. I know that it is Sunday in Tokyo. Yeah, that's a Kaku Ranger reference. But if you are watching us live, please be sure to comment in our chat box to your right. Any comments that that you write down while we are live, we will display them right here at the bottom, and give you some back and forth, because we love you, the fans who are part of our show, and thank you for being a part of it. So, Shin Kamen Rider, 2023 remake of the original Kamen Rider franchise, created by Shotaro Shinomori in 1971. And it was written by Hideaki Anno, who's famous for doing what is known as the Shin franchise, which consists of Shin Gojira, Shin Ultraman, Shin Evangelion, and now Shin Kamen Rider. Obviously, people are now hoping for Shin Go Ranger or Shin Garo and all that other stuff. And if you guys are keeping up with Bandai Premium, yes, there is a toy set where you got Ultraman, Eva 01, Godzilla, and Kamen Rider Ichigo combining into a giant robot.
Yes. And in case you're wondering, yes, Transformers Beast Wars or Rise of the Beasts comes out, and I'm practicing my yes. Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of which, tomorrow, as of the time of this recording, will be Robo Toy Fest, which is where I first met Megatron from Beast Wars. So, so it's cool that I met Trace Coltronata, but soon I'm gonna meet Hiro Yui. So I will have met both the hero and villain of Gundam Wing, which is amazing. So, Shin Kamen Rider was both written and directed by Hideaki Anno. It's produced by Daiki Koide and Kazutoshi Wadakura, and it stars Sosuke Ikamatsu, Minami Hamabe, and Tatsuko Imoto. This film had a budget of, hold on, what was the film's budget? I have to go down here because it's not on the right side. Okay, production, development. Well, I know how it's low. Its domestic box office. Do you want? I think its original budget was like about $2 million US dollars. Do you know how much it made back?
Right now in the box office alone, because keep in mind this movie was released for a limited time in America, and thankfully we got the chance to see it.
Yeah,
that's the reason why we're reviewing
in the first of 2 screenings.
It's currently right now it's made $16 million at the box office. Now,
keep in mind, this is the Japanese box office. So far, the Fathom Events has not released the US and Canadian box office because it's only been released in countries where Fathom Events operates, which is America and Canada exclusively. So we only know the Japanese numbers. And while 16 million may not seem like a lot, because with America, we have like all these Marvel cinematic universe movies making hundreds of millions to billions of dollars. Keep in mind, Japan is a small country. Despite its population density, it still has a small population. So they're not.
I actually real quick. I have more information. I'm reading this straight off of Wikipedia, people, in case you guys want to know. So the movie opened up number 2 in the box office in Japan and grossed about 542 yen, which is $4.12 million in US currency.
Yeah.
It got quiet until, to paraphrase, it got quiet up until April the 24th of this year, and became the highest grossing in the Kamen Rider series, earning up to 2.02 billion yen, which is
16 million.
Yeah, roughly 16 million in US dollars. So right now it's going. It's going still. It's going strong still.
It's a domestic financial success, and hopefully it sold enough tickets here in the U.S. and Canada to not only double that, hopefully, because keep in mind America has a much bigger population despite limited screenings. Well, I don't know if it'll double it, but at least like put in another 4 million at least. Hopefully it sold enough tickets to have Fathom Events and Toei collaborate more to give us more Kamen Rider movies officially released in the US, because Kamen Rider movies are released in movie theaters all the time in Japan. There's like 2 or 3 every year in Japan, but we only got just this one movie. So hopefully, this.
Give me a second. Hold on. Right back.
But with that said, hopefully this incentivizes Japan to have more releases of Kamen Rider and Super Sentai movies here in the US. Now, I'm glad that they went with this movie because this is a fresher take on Kamen Rider for newcomers who haven't never seen Kamen Rider before. But yeah, like, to be frank, getting tickets for this movie was hard. A lot of movie theaters were sold out very quickly because, believe it or not, America has a lot of Kamen Rider fans, despite how not so mainstream it is in our social media, especially Super Sentai. And of course, So I was lucky to find 4 seats right next to each other when we went to see it on the 31st. And back then, we only thought this was the one and only screening. It wasn't until the day of that they announced that there's going to be a second screening on June 5th, which is the following Monday. So those of you who missed it on Wednesday, I hope you were lucky enough to catch up on Monday.
No. You're being too nice. If you didn't get to see it in theaters, you missed out. But don't worry, it'll be on Blu-ray and DVD probably next month, like most Kamen Rider stuff. I want to second what you said about wanting more events where they show Kamen Rider, like toy events from fandom. We really missed out on Kamen Rider Realize, but I know because of COVID, that's the reason why they couldn't do it. Because I'm pretty sure if COVID did not get its scheming hands on the entire world, we would have got Kamen Rider real time, Metsubo Jirai, and Vulcan and Valkyrie in theaters. I guarantee it.
Well, that's not necessarily true because the VSNex movies were, direct to Blu-ray with some limited screenings in Japanese
Like,
theaters.
you do realize I'm the biggest 01 fan here. It's the reason why I'm mentioning it.
And I'm the biggest overall Kamen Rider fan in here.
It doesn't. But I'm talking about 01. We're like, listen, I do not want to.
Now I will say this. If not for COVID, they would have had 5 more episodes of 01 for sure. Instead, they had to fill out the remainder of the episodes by making real-time movies. And there's a lot of background on your end. Yeah. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So, but here's the thing. I will submit to you this: we wouldn't have real time in 2020 because a lot of people would have to actually have seen the first 45 episodes to get what's going on. But we could have had a limited screening when 01 came to the US afterwards on Pluto Tubi and Shout Factory, because there was a whole Christmas marathon on Pluto TV.
I will say this, and this is just recent, but in case y'all didn't know, Toku Shoutsu, not Toku Shoutsu, Shout Factory. It was a Toku Shoutsu or Shout Factory?
Toku Shoutsu is a channel made by Shout Factory.
No, Twitch. They were showing real time on Twitch. Yeah, 2 weekends ago.
Yep, they do that every now and then.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and speaking of which, they also recently announced that Black RX will be released on Blu-ray. So pre-order it today to go with your Kamen Rider Black Blu-ray, which we assume that you have already ordered.
And Kamen Rider Black Sun, which I'm pretty sure there's a DVD version.
Which you can watch on Amazon.
Black Sun. You know why. You know why.
Yeah, well, you can watch Black Sun on Amazon. So here's my first question. And I think a lot of people already know the answer to this question, but for those of you who haven't heard our backstories a bit, what was your first experience with Kamen Rider as a whole?
To make a long story short about my first exposure, technically it was Masked Rider. I don't count that no more. My first experience is because of you. You showed me Kamen Rider Wizard in college, and then when I saw you again after MorphCon 2018, you showed me Forze, O's, and then 01. And then I got hooked on it like a drug. And I saw that
screenshot of you being like...
Since then, you have had me run through Kuga and Dragon Knight. And right now, I'm finishing Agito and getting started with Ryuki. And I will say it like this. As much as of a Power Ranger fan I am growing to become a big Kamen Rider fan. I'm going through the Heisei era of Kamen Rider. And obviously, I'm also watching... in case y'all want to know, yes, I'm still watching Kamen Rider Geats, or as we like to call it, Kamen Rider Geese Howard. I'm still running through Kamen Rider Geese Howard, and because the show is still bomb. And I will be going through the Showa era at some point. But I want to get through the Heisei era and I know I'm gonna have a lot to talk about when it comes to Decade, and I'll leave it at that. But that's my exposure with Kamen Rider. But Mr. Kabuto, what's your first exposure?
Well, what's really weird is that my 3-year-old self actually came up with the concept of Kamen Rider Black without ever having known that Kamen Rider Black has already existed for, I'd say, about 7 years by that point. Because it's like my own independent thought process where like I had this idea for a bug themed superhero who'd be like all in black. And because I wasn't particularly creative, I just called him Black, because he's all in black. Then, I happened to stumble upon Saban's Master Rider. I'm like, that's so cool. A black bug superhero, just like the one I thought of. Little did I know is that he was based on a Japanese superhero named Kamen Rider Black RX. But what is the crazy coincidence of that happening? But as far as actual Kamen Rider's concerned, well, I was in freshman year of high school. I was in a mentally dark place, and long story short, Kamen Rider Kabuto saved my life. Like, if it wasn't for Kabuto, like, I probably would not be here today talking about Kamen Rider or Super Sentai or just thermodynamics of the universe and why peace and love is an energy that we all need to harness for the greater good of.
And midichlorian's important if you want to become a Jedi.
Yeah. But what's crazy is that like I discovered Kabuto by accident, and it saved my life. And like trying to learn more about this mystical Japanese TV show that I've just discovered, I come to find out that I have roots going way back with the series without ever having knowing it. It's like being Ray Palpatine but being well written. And what's crazy is that like Ishinomori, the creator of Kamen Rider, also made Power Rangers. He made Cyborg 009. And what's crazy is the only anime my dad has ever watched was actually written by Ishinomori. So it's like a hidden bond that I've had with my father that neither of us knew that we've had. So I have this mystical connection with Kamen Rider. And ever since, I have watched literally every episode of Kamen Rider up to, well, half an hour ago. I've seen all but one episodes, and only because the one episode I didn't see just aired half an hour ago. All right. So from your perspective, what was your experience going to see this movie?
So keep in mind, I never watched the original Kamen Rider. Now, and the closest I've had was Kamen Rider the first and Kamen Rider the next, the 2006 and 2007 more modern remake of both Kamen Rider and Kamen Rider. What was the other one?
Yeah,
V3.
Kamen Rider and Kamen Rider V3.
Yes, that was so. What I originally thought was, okay, is this going to be another take on it? I mean, I know it's going to be a new take on the original Kamen Rider, but how new are we talking? Bro, the first 5 minutes is a straight gore fest, and I am for it. All you see is, ow, I'm sorry, like, and I'm like, what? So is this Kamen Rider or Kill Bill? What's okay? Like, I'm not complaining. I just want to know, did Tarantino have any involvement with this? Mm-hmm. And if he does, where's Sam Jackson?
Yo,
bro, I was for it.
Yo, I would love to cast Samuel L. Jackson as Tobei Tachibana, because I think he would
bump that. I would cast Samuel Jackson as Guy Amatsu, because he can play a greedy man. Be like, don't give me attitude. Get out of my face before I zetsumetsu you.
Well, the thing is, he already played a Guy Amatsu in a movie called The Kingsman.
Oh yeah, yo, bro. Imagine we had Kingsman and Kamen Rider crossover. The world ain't ready. The world ain't ready. The world ain't ready. I gotta do the Drake handshake.
I had it with these goddamn riders destroying my goddamn organization. Time to summon the Gazelle Kaijin.
No, bump that. Imagine if he was Kamen Rider Decade, an American version of Kamen Rider Decade. No.
What Rider world are you from? What? No. What ain't no Rider world I ever heard of? Do they have a Kamen Rider what where you're from?
No, I'm sorry. The boss and Kamen Rider O's sing happy birthday. Well, no. We're doing a Stevie Wonder version. Sing it. I'll sing it with
What
you.
does
Happy
Kogami look like?
To ya. Happy singer, I'm gonna fire your ass. That's what I want.
No one sings happy birthday to President Kogami except Mr. President Kogami.
All right, where do we go? So, what happened in this movie? What the hell happened?
Right. So, my perspective, it's a belated birthday present, and I was really happy that all of us went to see it together. And yes, Jen Pink and I were both wearing cosplays. I was I was Ichigo and she was Nigo. That worked perfectly. And
no one gave me the memo to dress up.
I kind of texted you about it about like 2 weeks beforehand.
I'm a dad. You gotta call me. Call me if you wanted me to dress up. I could have had the shot riser ready. I don't know what. I could have had the shot riser. Oh, actually, no. I should not. Nope. Because then, black man bringing shot riser. I would just be like, yo, just give me the 01 driver. I'll dress up like Aruto. We'll call it a day.
I mean, I'll say this: when you got me the Legend series Typhoon, I was surprised you didn't get yourself one for Kamen Rider Nigo, because that way the two of us would have went to see the movie as the double rider bros like we were, like back in the day.
I would have loved to, but keep in mind. But I gotta tell you this now that you know that I got it for you. That was the last. That was the last one before they went out of stock on it, and then then they reloaded after that. So that's why.
Okay. Or like you could have asked me to borrow my OG Typhoon, also the Legend series. Honestly, I prefer. I do prefer the DX versions more than Legacy. But the thing is, I always get the DXs just because would I want to get CSMs? Yes, but one, they're expensive, and two, up until recently, I was too fat to even wear one, even if I had one.
I just want to say it's unrelated. I'm so happy you can fit your belts. I'm very proud of you and the progress you've made.
Yeah, no, for real though. Like even when I first got my first rider belt back in 2014. I got myself 2 belt extenders because I needed both of them just to fit around my waist. By April 2020, 2022, 2 extenders were no longer fitting me. That's how bad things got for me. But now I'm wearing a CSM belt. Now I kind of don't have an excuse to get the new $300 belts, but I'm they are better. I'm not going to lie. But they're expensive. By the way, to the person who got me the Kabuto CSM, thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. But yeah, so the 3 of us, not him, but the rest of us ran into a Jordan fight. What a sweet guy. Can't wait to see him tomorrow. Apparently, Hawkeely's also went to see the movie, but I didn't run into him. But nevertheless, shout outs to Hawkeely's. But let's talk about the movie. So, as per tradition, like every TV show and movie remake, the movie always starts off with Takashi Hongo being turned into a grasshopper cyborg, escaping from Shocker, and then fighting the spider monster. But things are a little bit different this time around. Things are a lot gorier. So let's talk about the lead actors. So Takashi Hongo is played by Sosuke Ikematsu, who has played Ryuzaki in the remakes of Death Note, and Ruriko, the daughter of Professor Midorikawa, is played by Minami Hamabe. For those of you who don't know, she played a role in the live-action Kagegurui series, and not just any character. She played the lead character of Yumiko, which means that show now has 4 tokusatsu actors in it. We had Poppy from Ex-Aid. We got Ryugen from Gaim. We got Sella from Juoger. But now we have Homegirl from Shin Kamen Rider, and she's the lead girl, which is awesome. And so my first question to Leo, as soon as he gets back, is what he thought of these 2 lead actors and their chemistry. But I'll say this much: I liked it. I mean, Ichigo is kind of stiff here, but I can forgive it on the premise that he just became a cyborg, and he's really confused about how to feel about a lot of things. Of course, I would have to ask, he should be a little bit more emotional. I mean, I get in the TV show he was a lot more stoic about it, but it became very apparent to me that this movie is not so much based on a TV show, but is actually based on the manga. Having read the omnibus manga, which I have in the other room, so I can't pull it out right now, it's very faithful to the manga. I'll say that. But with that said, I'm surprised that Ichigo isn't being all isn't being so like angry all the time about it. So Fox, now that you're here, what are your thoughts on the portrayals of Ichigo and Ruriko and their overall chemistry?
I think both of them had great chemistry. I think because it's funny how she went from, yeah, you just got my dad killed, to like, okay, I could trust you. I trust you now. Because I'm like, well, that's a Kamen Rider thing to do. It's like, oh, you killed my brother, but we're cool. Okay, we're now cool. I know you didn't mean to. It's always like that. It's kind of like Demon Slayer to a certain capacity. But when Tanjiro, I'm only getting through the first season. But it's like every time Tanjiro looks at demons, like, oh, you look like you had a great life before you became a demon. That's the girl. You had a great life before you killed my dad, but you seem like a good person now again. I love when they introduce the organization that's trying to take down Shocker, and they're like, oh no, we got you new clothes. We noticed that y'all have been wearing the same clothes for the last couple of days. We got you some new clothes, and we got you some food. So I like that.
Yeah, and we'll give you like safety and security, which I'm like, you safety and security? What?
Can we talk about the kaijus real quick?
Yeah, we will in a moment. But yeah, I'll say this: Ruriko, while she does perform better as the movie progresses, it does feel a little bit out of character. Where like in the TV show, she's distrustful of Takashi for 2 whole episodes, and for the manga, it took 2 or 3 chapters for her to trust him, even to the point where she would sooner believe her brainwashed friend than trust Ichigo.
Bro, we gotta talk about her friend, but I know we're gonna talk about the kaijus in a minute. But No, I would say that I think part of me feels because okay, this movie's pretty long, but part of me feels as if
2 hours and
I
15
think
minutes.
yeah, I think after that part with her friend, that's when she started trusting Takeshi.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about the Kaijin because it's all about fighting the Kaijin. So you've already seen Bat and Spider from Kamen Rider the first. So the two of us can help but wonder, what do they look like in this movie? Blam.
They look like I don't know if anyone's ever played Mad World or Anarchy Reigns. They look like concept characters in a good way. I'm not saying it's bad, but they look like the concept art characters from Anarchy Reigns, especially the Beog.
Yeah. I'll say this. When I first saw Spider Og, yeah, like they're referred to as Augs, AUG for augment, as opposed to cyborgs or Kaijin or Batman, Spider-Man, Bee Woman,
Crab Woman.
Scorpion, but yeah.
Oh, Scorpina.
yeah, Scorpina, right? Yeah.
Scorpina's sister.
Yeah. So Serena. Or Stingerella. No, wait, that was already used in. Wait, Stingerella was already used in Jungle Fury. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So at first, I was honestly I was a little disappointed at first by Spider-Man's, and am gonna call him Spider-Man just because that's his original name in both the manga and the TV show. Because his design looked very generic, but then he starts unzipping that jacket. I'm like, oh my god.
I will say this. He's not going to be in Across the Spider-Verse Part 2.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my question. Which were your most and least favorite designs of these kaijins, and which one did you think had the most threatening villain plan? And that includes the butterfly one that we haven't revealed yet.
Okay, obviously I'm gonna say the butterfly one was the biggest threat. My favorite design though was the Beog, which was Rico's friend.
Yeah.
Because that fight between her and Shin Kamen Rider, I'm like this. If anyone's ever wanted to see an anime version of Kill Bill or like a tokusatsu version of the Kill Bill fight between Beatrice Kiddo and Lucy Liu's character, this is the perfect homage to it. Oh my god, I love that.
And who's your least favorite?
I would also say Spider-Man. Either that or actually, I know your significant your other is gonna get a little upset, but the Scorpion Og, the girl who got literally shot down off screen.
Right. So that's your least favorite.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so for me, I would have to say Bee Woman and Chameleon Mantis hybrid had the two best designs. Now here's the thing: I was surprised, like in the show and manga. Actually, no, they did not appear in the first 6 volumes of the manga, but like the two of them. But what's it called? They were two separate characters. You got a Mantis Man and a Chameleon Man. And by the way, Chameleon Man was the one that was more directly involved with the introduction of Hayato Ichimonji, which we are going to get into. But here they did an interesting new concept where they combined the two of them together to be like someone who has the powers of both Chameleon and Mantis. So I'm like, hey, look at that. They got Psycho Mantis over here.
God damn you. Damn you, Mike. Don't you really would make a Metal Gear joke.
Now, I'll say this. Even as far back as the Spider-Man fight, I was like, did Quentin Tarantino direct this movie? Because this feels like a Quentin Tarantino take on Kamen Rider. But when they had that fight with B-Woman, I swear that was taken from Kill Bill. And honestly, I would have to say that was one of the best fight scenes in my opinion. It's short, but it was sweet. I'll say this. I don't hate Scorpion Woman's. By the way, in the original version, it was Scorpion Man. And believe it or not, Scorpion Man was actually one of Takashi's friends that voluntarily became a Shocker soldier.
Why would anyone volunteer to be a Shocker soldier? Because keep in mind, all Shocker was pretty much Nazis. Why would you voluntarily sign up to be augmented by Nazis?
I'll tell you why, Takashi. I got tired of living in your shadow, always being second place at every race. This was my chance to prove that I'm better than you.
Then go do something else. I know you'll probably be better than me at.
Yeah.
Stop trying to beat me in Smash. You could beat me in Marvel.
I'll say this. I'm a little disappointed. The thing that's disappoints me most about Scorpion Woman is that out of all the characters, she was the one who was most taken out like a punk. So that was a thing. She was taken out like a punk. Like she dies. Not only she dies off screen, but she doesn't even get killed by Kamen Rider. You got Spider-Man killed by Kamen Rider. You got Batman killed by Kamen Rider. B-Woman, she got killed by both Kamen Rider and Ruriko working together. Chameleon Mantis, well, let's just say they got some help from an unlikely source. But yeah, I'm a little sad that she died like a punk, and I don't know, the sequence is kind of disappointing. But I'll say this, the worst design in my opinion was definitely Batman, because it was just weird. And like the fisheye lens did not help, where it just like hyper focuses just on his face. I was like, what's going on here? So yeah, that was like one of the weirdest camera angles I've seen. So despite Scorpion Woman going out like a punk, the worst design I would still have to give to Batman.
She got shot up to Kingdom Come. But yeah,
off screen.
Yeah, but like from what we heard, she many men did wish death upon her. So
True.
Many men wish death upon me, blood in my eyes that I can't see.
All right, so we are introduced to. So the background to Shocker is also a little bit differently, because now instead of being a neo-Nazi organization, they're basically a corporate cult that wants to create happiness. Basically, let's be honest, this is Happy Science, aka Japanese Scientologists. For those of you who don't know, Happy Science is a freaking weird cult. First of all, they made some trippy, expletively deleted anime where like it talks about their beliefs, how like Thomas Edison is a messiah, while Nietzsche is like the Antichrist figure, and obviously the recently deceased leader of the cult was supposed to be the one savior and whatnot, and unfortunately, one beloved cast member from a Kamen Rider show was a member of this cult, tragically. But the most disgusting thing that this cult has done is back in April of 2020, they were selling COVID vaccines.
You told me about this.
You told me about this.
Happy Science? Damn.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all did not hear that. I'm sorry. Anyways, But no, Happy Science is weird. Because I was wondering, I'm like, I've heard you talk to me about this, and you're like, you were really upset that a Kamen Rider character, a cast member, was part of it.
Yeah.
I completely forgot they were the ones who were like, we had the vaccines, $400 for the vaccines and the care.
And
That's like the church. That's like the churches out in America. The ones that are like, we had like, they're like, we will sing COVID-19. We're like, we cast you, COVID-19, and he blew into the faces of his congregation. I'm like, no, that's how you spread it, bro.
Yeah, and keep in mind, like, this wasn't April 2021 where they already had actual vaccines. This was April 2020, 2 months after the American lockdown.
Round 1 of COVID. Round 1.
I'm scared to think of what was even in those $400 vaccines. You know, like
sugar water.
So, but in the end, I'll say this. Shocker in this movie feels a lot like it's being a nod to Happy Science. Like even their motto is, we wish to spread happiness amongst all human life on Earth. I'm like...
Coincidence?
So let's talk about another character. So just like how in the manga, and double of what we see in the show, there are 12 other Kamen Riders working for Shocker. Yes, 12 Shocker Riders. Count them, 12 of them. And the 12th one is none other than Hayato Ichimonji, a former journalist who's turned into a member of Shocker with the specific purpose of destroying Kamen Rider Ichigo. And just to give a brief understanding, if Takashi Hongo was Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, Hayato Ichimonji is the Danny Ketch of Kamen Rider, where he replaces the main character for a hot minute, has upgrades from the main character, so he doesn't have as many weaknesses and has newer powers. So, for example, Ichigo, he actually needs to be physically traveling at 300 miles per hour in order to get the wind turbulence to transform. Hayato Ichimonji does not need that. In fact, the whole point of his transformation pose is so that he wouldn't need the wind. Like, his arm poses are so strong that it creates turbulence for him. That is the explanation in the manga. And so he doesn't even have to be moving just to transform. And he's slightly stronger, more agile. But when Ichigo comes back in the TV show, suddenly Ichigo has all the upgrades that Nigo has. Now, who is Hayato Ichimonji played by? He's played by Tasuku Imoto. And he's been in a number of franchises. He was in Stray Dogs. He was in Emperor's Cook. He was in Modern Love Tokyo, Idaten. Some movies he was in include Chameleon, Air Doll, A Story of Yonosuke, and many others. One of the recent projects he was in was called Anime Supremacy, and he was in what's called. He also did the voice of the main character from the show Erase. So, if you haven't seen the anime Erased, check it out. It's on Netflix. It's only like 13 episodes. It's a pretty good series. Now, we get the traditional, the two of them fight each other at first sequence, and then after like removing the brainwashing, Hayato does help fight Chameleon Person, but unfortunately, contrary to the manga or TV show, sadly, Chameleon Mantis does kill Ruriko in the process, but is then defeated by Kamen Rider Nigo. So, what are your thoughts on Emoto's performance as Hayato?
I thought that his performance, I honestly didn't. Because of how little knowledge I knew of because you had mentioned earlier that this is not based off the TV show; it was based off the comic book. I mean, the manga.
I mean, book is a manga is a comic book, so
yes, but you know manga purists. Come on now.
Yeah, they need to educate themselves.
But so I had no idea that they made a manga version of the original Kamen Rider. I honestly thought that he was going to be the antagonist the rest of the movie until later on. Mm-hmm. I think that his performance was very well done. I loved when both Takashi and Hayato both did the poses. The entire crowd went bonkers when it happened.
Yeah.
All you heard is
yeah. Yeah, and they even said Kamen Rider Ichigo, Kamen Rider Nigo. And it's like,
and then you heard
they actually started playing the theme song, but they are chased by the other 11 of the 12 Shocker Riders. And what were your thoughts about this chase sequence?
Clearly, the director loved Final Fantasy VII Remake, because that's all I could feel was, okay, if no one played Final Fantasy VII Remake, which you should have, why are you here? I'm joking. The motorcycle chase scene with, Cloud and the crew trying to get at one of the areas, I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's what it reminded me of. Mm-hmm. And then when the stunt work, them combining both practical and CGI was amazing. I loved that scene.
Yeah. No, I thought it was great. I mean, the only complaint I would have is when they were in the tunnel part of the chase sequence, it was really dark, so you could barely see what was happening. But unlike Game of Thrones, they're in a tunnel, so I can understand that.
Unlike the Batman. And this is coming from someone who loves the Batman. There's no Morbin time. It's the Batman time. As much as I love that movie, the scene where he comes in and saves that dude, the opening of the movie, was too damn dark.
I'll say this. If you just gave me the idea that if they ever made a Morbius 2, I really want Michael to say the phrase Morbin a go-go, baby.
No.
Yes.
No.
Like, just to add more salt into that wound. And why stop at salts? Let's add some phosphorus in there.
I just want, so for Morphin Network fans who need to know this, Mike here actually does enjoy the Morbius movie. I'll leave it at that.
I said it was all right. It wasn't great.
You preferred it over the Batman. Explain that.
The Batman was boring.
You wanted a detective movie. You wanted a detective movie.
Yes, and the mystery was lackluster. Like, and as much as it pains me to say, Knives Out was a better mystery movie. And I am not a fan of Knives Out.
That's because you don't like Rian Johnson.
No,
I'm joking. I want to make this abundantly clear. We actually like Rian Johnson here. I know why.
No, but no, it's like even when we watched the movie together, I called it right away that Chris Evans was the villain.
And we all did.
And when I saw the sequel, the moment Edward Norton shows up, I'm like,
spoilers. I've not seen Glass Onion yet.
Oh, don't worry, it was dumb. Like so dumb it's smart. No, just dumb.
Spoilers. I actually was excited that they were making a sequel.
By the way, that movie came out on Christmas of last year. You had like 6
Hey,
months
hey, when you become
on
a dad,
Netflix.
when you become a dad, Mike,
on Netflix.
when you become a dad,
on Netflix.
when you become a dad,
you could make that excuse if
when
it was in
you
theaters.
become a dad.
Which
You understand.
which reminds me, I want to thank everyone in the audience of our screening for not bringing a baby to the theater. That's just disrespectful when someone does it. Someone brought a baby to Evil Dead Rises.
Someone brought a baby to Scream 6.
Again, someone brought a baby to Evil Dead Rises. So, to all you Kamen Rider brothers and sisters out there, thank you so much for being respectful and not bringing a baby, or being willing to miss out on it to take care of your baby. I know it's a hard decision to make, but we are great. But on behalf of all the other fans watching in the movie theater, we are grateful that you were being compliant to theater etiquette. Now,
you guys are the real heroes.
You don't need to wear capes or scarves or motorcycles. Speaking of scarves and motorcycles, so it's revealed that Ruriko's brother is the last of the 6 kaijin. And yeah, he is the butterfly kaijin. And turns out his ability is the most menacing of all of them. He can trap people into a dream dimension. What were your thoughts on this character being like the final villain?
I will say this. Thanos with the Reality Stone and nothing else versus this guy. Thanos still might win, but at least he'll pull up a good fight.
Yeah, because he's like Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy, but on Thanos roids. So like that. Now, what were your thoughts on him becoming Kamen Rider Reigo? Now, I don't think Reigo is the official name. It's probably like just Zero or something. But so this guy, he is played by, hold on, here we go. Mirai Moriyama. He's done 20th Century Boys. He's done Vision, Samurai Marathon. He was an Inuo with Ichimonji. Television shows include Idaten, also with Hayato, and believe it or not, he was in Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe. Was this the animated or live action version? It's 2020, so it's probably the animated version. So yeah, this dude is a JoJo character, but also considering the fact that he does have dream powers, yeah, he is a JoJo character. But yeah, he is. But yeah, so the character's name is Ichiro Midorikawa, and he becomes Kamen Rider number 0. So unofficially, I'm referring to him as Kamen Rider Reigo because number 0. Will that be the official pronunciation of the character? Maybe. But what were your thoughts when he became Reigo?
All right. What was the question?
What were your thoughts when he became Reigo?
When Ryuku's brother did?
Yeah.
Oh, shit was about to hit the fan. Like, no, here's the thing.
Wait, you were frozen for a second.
Okay, no. Here's the thing. I really thought he was going to become V3 because at this point, I have no idea what's going on. I'm like, okay, so that's her brother. Her brother. It reminded me of 8th Gundam MS team. No, Gundam 8th MS team when you find out about Ida's brother, Genos.
Yeah.
That's what it remind me of. I'm like, did we just pull a Gundam 8th MS team? Okay, I'm for it. Wait. He looks like a butterfly. Okay, at least okay. It wasn't until when Takashi, he's like, hey, yo, get in my mind. You got to see this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this dude might, for a split second, I thought he was going to kill both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They have this weird thing where like a person's personality can be like transferred into prana, which is the substance that is used to turn kaijin into riders and kaijin. So yeah, it's like Ruriko's dies in this movie, contrary to the show and manga, and all of her memories are stored into Ichigo's helmet. So, with that
sentient, at that point, the helmet becomes sentient when Takashi dies.
Yeah, spoiler alert, he does die.
I mean, listen, if we're talking the Shin Kamen Rider, there's gonna be spoilers. We just told you. Go ahead.
Now I'll say this: in the manga, at least Takashi still has his brain, and it's inside I wouldn't say jar, but kind of like a jar. But here, like his entire body's completely gone. So take it as you will. So what were your thoughts on the ending of the show? Not the show, the movie. Yeah.
Well, I like the fact that because Hayato's the last of the two and is like telling the organization that was helping take out Shocker, he's like, listen, Shocker's still around. Y'all do your thing on how you want to take down Shocker. I'm going to do my thing on how to take down Shocker. You want to know why? Because journalism helps. It's the 70s. I'm joking. It's the modern day. Listen, I'm a photographer. I'm a journalist. It's freelance. Best thing in the world for a kid my age, okay? I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to sell these pictures for about a good $3,000 a piece of these Kamen Riders. And now they're in New York. Find me pictures of Masked Rider. You don't want to if he doesn't want to be famous, I'll make him infamous. So yeah, no, I like the fact that what do you call it? Takashi, you'll find out like because of all the memories that are still in his helmet and gets transferred to Hayato's helmet, that he is still with them. Which makes me wonder, would it be cool for them to do a sequel? Because considering the fact that these two were in the biggest the characters to start Kamen Rider off, it would make sense if they made a sequel.
Yeah.
So I did like the ending, especially when they played the remastered version of Samaru Shoka. Go ahead.
So yeah, it does turn out that the two agents that were collaborating with Ichigo and Ruriko were actually Tobe Tachibana and that other dude that's always with them. I'm like, hey, Tachibana, we actually got him. Yay. Because it's like, we got this whole show. Sorry, we have this whole movie and we don't see Tachibana once. And like, he's such a staple because Tobe Tachibana was there for the entire show all the way up to Kamen Rider Stronger. Then in Sky Rider, like, he wasn't there anymore because the actor passed away, sadly. But the dude who would replace him, like, he was supposed to be a colleague of Tachibana's, and he stayed for 2 seasons. And yeah, so it's like, like, you need to, like, have that type of character in your series. Heck, even in a Kamen Rider Forze, there's a character named Tachibana who guides Meteor through his journey. Now, yeah, now I'll say this. This movie definitely ends on a slightly brighter note compared to the manga because like, if we are comparing it to the manga, the movie ends with chapter 4. There's still like 2 more chapters of Ichimonji fighting Shocker. And by the way, in chapter 5, he actually goes to his home village, which is invaded by Shocker. So Shin Kamen Rider 2, things get personal. Actually, you know what? That's what they should call the movie. Shin Kamen Rider Nego.
So you know what's funny? We didn't mention this. When you see the title of the movie after the first 5 minutes of it, and you heard everyone clapping, I did say, "Go, baby!"
Yeah, a lot of people were cringing so hard.
No, some people laughed, and some dudes like, "Wrong franchise, bro."
Exactly.
Not so it wasn't cringe. Listen. There's been more cringy stuff that has happened at theater. Okay, I'm pretty sure making a Beautiful Joe reference, it doesn't kill everybody.
Yeah, and of course we do get an end credit scene where we see an homage to the original Kamen Rider series, and playing the original theme song too, and it was really cute. And we see him do a bunch of rider kicks, and we see a clip of Ichigo and Nigo working together. But of course, like as soon as the song's over, I'm like, Akai, Akai Kamen no Bisuri. Yeah, because it's almost instinctual. As soon as Let's Go Rider Kick ends, like I have to sing Tatake V3. So there's that. So real quick, what were your most favorite fight sequences?
I would say the opening fight scene where freaking Takashi murders that SWAT team. Because it was a shock. I mean, obviously it was used for shock value to bring you into this world, but it did such an amazing job at it. The fight with the Beog, the fight with the fight with Hayato, and then the final fight.
Yeah.
And by final fight, I am also counting the motorcycle fight with the 12 shocker riders as well.
Yeah. For me, I would say the Bee Woman fight was definitely one of my most favorites because, again, like at the start of the movie, I'm like, is this movie made directed by Quentin Tarantino? Because this feels like a Tarantino take on Kamen Rider, and then like with Bee Woman, like it felt like we were straight up watching Kill Bill, but with Kaijin instead of Lucy Liu and the Crazy 88. Least favorite fight I would have to say was with Batman. It's like I like the concept of like, yeah, he created this virus. By the way, it doesn't help that Tokusatsu released the original Kamen Rider on April 3rd, 2020. And then in the second episode, Batman is like holding a woman hostage, and he's like, it's like, my virus will spread to her fast. Because for those of you who don't remember, at the time, the most common theory was that COVID was first spread by a bat in Wuhan. So having a bat character spread a virus in 2020, that just poorly timed. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's just poorly timed. But it was, yeah. Now I'll say this. So what were your thoughts on special effects?
I think the special effects were pretty good. For when it was practical, you knew it was practical. When you the CG, I think and I think they did really well with the CG. Yeah. I just think for me, it's just because of how much CG we have seen in many movies, Marvel and DC. Yeah. It kind of drains you. So when you see practical effects, it honestly, it's like a breath of fresh air. And there were plenty of practical effects in this movie. So I'm happy about that. It's like let's face it, the majority of the fights were practical. Like they used wire fu for it, and I was perfectly fine with it. And they used CGI when it was necessary. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, like for me, I appreciate that. Like I really could not stand the CGI they used for Batman when he was like flapping his wings. But
yeah, I think you and I heard you groan. I groaned too.
Yeah. But when it came to actually, But when it came to like the actual practical fights, like the ones with the chameleon mantis and the one with bee woman, like I think those were like some of the better sequences because like practical effects and stunt choreography. That's what got me into tokusatsu to begin with. That's why I fell in love with VR Troopers and subsequently Power Rangers. So there's that. So final question, score out of 10, go.
Okay, I will easily get this a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie. Yeah, it's up there with Kamen Rider the first and Kamen Rider the next.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, no, I remember giving Shin Kamen Rider the prologue an 8 because that movie was trippy. Anyways, but no, I really did enjoy this movie. It's up there, and I would easily just say, like, once again, once this movie comes out, for those of y'all who were not able to see this movie in theaters, like myself, Mike, Jen, and Mike's partner in crime, when it's on Blu-ray, go see it. It's a really good movie. And also, if you are new to Kamen Rider, this is a good movie to start off your Kamen Rider adventures and expanding your own lore to it.
Yeah. So I would give it a 9 out of 10 because it was phenomenal. It's not watch it for the millionth time like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man or The Mask or a certain other movie I'm not going to say the name of because I'm going to reference it in a certain other review we're going to do in a few minutes. Yeah, it's I don't see myself like watching this like regularly, just like every now and then, when it comes out on Tokusatsu, because it's gonna come out on Tokusatsu sooner or later. But no, like but it was really well done, and I really hope that the American box office convinces Toei and Fathom Events to make more distributions of future Kamen Rider projects. And hopefully, like, we can go beyond just doing Fathom events. Hopefully, we could get, like, regular screenings. Like, we would get, like, at every AMC and Cinemark in America so that for more than just 2 days so that people have more chance to see it if you miss it on just the 2 days. Because let me tell you, Dragon Ball Broly and the Dragon Ball Super Heroes, like those movies had multiple week screenings and what's it called? And also like even when we were walking to my car, like the elevators at Burbank Center still had those images of Dragon Ball Superhero. So like, yeah, it's still zeitgeist, hopefully like we get more of that because while we don't hear a lot of mainstream conversations about Kamen Rider as we hear about Power Rangers or Dragon Ball as a franchise, there is a large American and Canadian following. So, give us more, spread the word. We're already making progress through Tokusatsu, but we can do more than just that. Like, I know that, like, and also keep in mind, if we get more official distribution of, of Kamen Rider properties, we would have fewer, Kaizoku related issues, that's all I'm gonna put it at. So here's hoping that things go well. Now
we can get Stephen Lunsford to adapt and make an American adaptation to a season of Kamen Rider. I put money on 01. We love you, Steve.
So a certain someone who went to see the movie with us actually wrote to me saying what they thought about the movie. So I'm going to read it right now before we go into the comment section. They wrote, I thought it was visually incredible. The colors always make their presence known to viewers and play a role in setting the mood, thus helping to propel the plot a bit. I really enjoyed the silly animation of Batman's wings flapping. It gave me quite a laugh, and I have to say I enjoyed the costume designs. I love the chameleon mantis hybrid design and the wasp woman's attire. Overall, I love how there was constant action and very quick mellow scenes. I never thought the movie was slowed down for a minute. Great cinematic contribution to the Kamen Rider franchise. And this is from someone who's never watched Kamen Rider. So So it's great. Like we got people who are not Kamen Rider fans loving this movie. So like, let's get more of this. Toei, the ball's in your court.
And please get rid of the copyright on our review of Kamen Rider Kamen Rider 01 real time. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look on at the YouTube comments. XXOXYZ said, "I love Shin Kamen Rider. Awesome. 10 out of 10. Sweet. B Woman.
Everyone loved B Woman.
Yeah.
Everyone loved that B Woman.
Yeah, even Jen liked B Woman.
Of course she did. Yeah, listen, don't be surprised if we all decide as a group to go to AX, which we're not, or Japan World Heroes, which we are. Do not be surprised if Jen pulls up with a B Woman odd cosplay.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised.
Yeah, and keep in mind she's going to go as the 2023 version, not the 1971 version, which is a little, racy, but yeah, like when the both of them asked to see what she looked like in the original 71 show, I pulled up the image and like they both like dropped their jaws.
Oh Jesus!
Personally, I like the Decade version the most in terms of design, but it is what it is. I hope there will be a sequel and a Shin Go Ranger. I don't know how they would make a Shin Go Ranger because you do have a team of 5, but that's the logical next step.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, after that, what's next? Shin Tomeka Heroes, Shin Garo, Shin Ray Force. Just kidding. Ray Force is a Korean series that only had a 5-minute pilot. But no, for real though, Korea, like Greenlight Ray Force. I want to actually see this.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna before Mike goes on a tangent with that damn show. Mike, where can people find you, bro?
Yes. You can find me on Instagram at Bogan_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BoganKabuto. Where can they find you?
Well, guys, my name's Leo, aka Reckless Fox, head of the Stroke Gang Podcast. You guys can find me on Twitch and Instagram, not Twitch, Twitter and Instagram, @Reckless_Fox, and you can find me on Twitch tonight because I have the house to myself. Tonight, twitch.tv/Reckless Fox. What am I gonna play? I have no freaking clue yet, but it's time to play the game.
Right. And of course, if you guys enjoyed watching this review, please give us a comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon so that you could stay updated on our latest videos, because we are getting more PMC interviews uploaded soon. Yes.
Tune in Tune in tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Tune in tomorrow morning. Tune in tomorrow morning, and then Monday, and then Tuesday. I'm getting them out. This week, you will get more content. I'm gonna look at you. I'm gonna look at that. I need to zoom in. Zoom in. And
of course, you could check out our latest reviews of Kamen Rider Geats and Osama Sentai King Oger. And if you want to stay tuned for our next episodes that we're going to be reviewing, they will be on Geats will be on Tuesday, 7:15 p.m. Pacific, 10:15 Eastern, and Osama Sentai King Ojo will be on Thursday at the same time slot, 7:15, 10:15. And of course, to check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do movie reviews and we do video game news.
Yep, new episode. Yep. We just dropped last week's episode of the Story Game Podcast. Well, last week, where we talked about the PlayStation Showcase. Tomorrow, tomorrow, if not tomorrow, Monday, we'll be talking about Summer Game Fest and all the announcements, including Mortal Kombat.
And of
we're
course,
about to get rock steady in this piece.
Yeah, so we recently did a movie review of Detective Pikachu because we are doing Video Game Month. And in 12 minutes as of the time of this recording, at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 Eastern, we're going to continue Video Game Month with Sonic the Hedgehog. So be sure to stick around for that on The Buttery Show. Until next time, guys. Stay safe, stay hydrated, hug your loved ones, update your emergency kits, wear weather appropriate attire, which I'm not doing right now because I'm all about the aesthetic. But that said, we'll see you guys tomorrow at Robo Toy Fest at the Pasadena Convention Center, and in August, same place for Japan World Heroes. Be sure to say hi to us.
I will be there.
Until next time, guys. Peace.
Henshin!